Okay, welcome everyone to today's Metal3 Community meeting. Today is the 22nd of April 2026. My name is Adam Rosman and I will be your host today. Let me quickly check the participant list. We don't have any new participants. Yep. We can continue with the reminders. Please note that the meeting is recorded. By joining the meeting, you automatically accepted that you can be recorded. If you would like to have the project, you can look for good first issue or help wanted labels, as I have on the individual issues related to the project. You can do that by going through this meeting document via the links, or you can use the GitHub issue filter. By contributing to these, resolving these issues, you would help the whole project a lot, but also creating these issues would help newcomers or even experienced developers to resolve outstanding issues. As I mentioned before, probably the good first issue and the help wanted label will go away, but the good first issue for sure, because of the AI slop, just for you know. Then the other topic, other reminder is that if you think that your organization would be supportive of the idea to publicly acknowledge the adoption of Metal3, then that would be great. And you can do that by editing the adopters.md file in the root of the community repository, same way as the other organizations have done before you. By doing this, you could help us gauge the level of adoption, and also you could help CNCF have a better understanding of the maturity of our project. Okay, and if you are experiencing issues related to review commands or automatic tests not running or manually initiated tests not running correctly on your pull request, and you think that the errors are not related to your code changes, rather related to some infra problem, then please create an issue in the affected repository and link that issue to the Metal3 CI tracker project on the GitHub issue UI. And if you are interested about any other statistics or information, please follow the links in the meeting notes or on the web page or on the main page of the main GitHub page of the project. Okay, I think that's all for reminders, just the usual. Then we can continue with community working group updates. Is there anyone who would like to bring up anything related to the scalability, the ARM, or the AI, or the artifact discussions? Okay, I thought so. So we can continue. Probably today we have much less or much smaller participation because the Ironic PTG is going on parallel to our meeting. So feel free to actually check that out. We also have a link in the in somewhere here in the meeting notes. So feel free to, or I would rather encourage you to join that meeting also if you have something that you are interested in on the Ironic side. But going back to our agenda, then the next main topic is the release team and the roadmap, and you probably noticed links, so I will give the stage to Himanshu first to talk about the
Can you hear me?
yeah,
Yes,
I
yes.
can.
Okay, I think your voice is breaking, or maybe my network is the one with issues.
No, it was
No.
me. It was me. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, you heard that you are the next. Okay, then just go on.
Yeah. So yeah, the ironic release is done. You already finished all the stuff, I think, and it is published and everything. I'm going to start with the ironic standalone operator release, maybe later today or like tomorrow. By then, most of the things should be in place for review and everything. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you for your help
It
with
will
the
be
release.
it will be all 0.9 ironic standalone operator release, and the 35 is the ironic. Yeah.
Yes, 335 and 0.9 or 8.
Yeah. 9.
Okay, thank you. Sunat, you are the next with the
Yeah.
other components.
Okay. We are currently doing beta release from main branch for CAPM3, BMO, and IPAM. So the BMO and IPAM already released. For CAPM3, we are waiting for small fix in our CI. After that, we will do the release. And also in parallel, we are doing the patch releases for release branch 1.12 and 1.11 for all the components, CAPM3, BMO, and IPAM. So all the release processes are in the process, and then the GA release will be hopefully next week for the CAPM3, BMO, and IPAM. Yeah. 1.13, I mean.
Yes, thank you, Sunat. I think then this is the 1.11.7 from IPAM, right? IPAM,
Yeah.
CAPM3. I will write it a bit differently.
11.7 and 12. Was it 4? I already forgot.
Yeah, I think 12.4.
12.4, yeah. 11.7, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, these are being released right now.
Yeah.
And then next week, the 0.13 and
1.13. Yeah.
Yes, and thanks for the release work to everybody. It's a great help, and it's very good that now we have new release team members who have never participated in the release. Okay, any questions, comments related to the releases, the ongoing and next week's releases?
One thing I want to add, in this release, we have a new API of CAPM3. I am currently working on the migration guide for migrating from V1 Beta 1 to V1 Beta 2. So we will also publish that guide along with the release. So yeah.
Thank you, Adil. Anyone else? Looking at the chat. Okay. Seems everyone is fine. Okay, then on to the discussion topics. I have one discussion topics, 2 PRs. It's the not specific kernel arguments introduced in BMO and have been improved with the PPI support. So people who are using the pre-provisioning image controller, building their own PPI resources, this feature should be compatible with your use cases also. For those people who are building with this init.rd based Ironic Python agents or other agents, then you will have small change of or potential change, meaning that if you also use this pre-provisioning kernel, extra kernel parameters on the BMH, then the kernel parameters of the PPI and the kernel parameters of the BMH will be combined, but only and only if you use both of the features. And I think that's right now nobody, because the BMH had no such spec field until now, or until this gets merged. So please check and review. This is one single new spec field, but it has a lot of side effects on this pre-provisioning image custom resource with all the with the old ways of doing things. Yeah, and then there is a related design document also that explains how this feature is supposed to work. Not that long, this document. So please also review this one. Is there anyone who has any question or comments related to this no specific extra kernel arguments for pre-provisioning? Or questions? Okay, if no questions, no comments, then just please review the feature. Okay, next one is from Sunat related to the BMH status.
Yeah, I wanted to have a specific, especially Dimitri in the call, but unfortunately, I think he left Ironic PTG. I'm adding like BMH status that will show the ironic steps interface, and then which step it's doing into the BMH status. So yeah, and this status will be available during only during the that process is happening after, like if gets like if it changes, like it goes from provisioning to provisioned, it will be removed. Yeah, that was the idea. Yeah, but the Dimitri was saying that he doesn't want to show the ironic clean steps, like ironic steps directly to the user. So he wants to have something like a description instead of the like step names. Yeah, but from the debugging perspective, ironic steps would be really helpful than the description, because the steps can be custom and different for each environment and each deployment. So yeah, and I think for each because of that, we cannot have a description for all the steps, but we can show all the steps without changing the name. So yeah, that's the idea.
Yes, and we have to highlight also that these names, these are not hard coded in the BMO. These are coming from the provisioner. So even other provisioners could potentially share their actual steps or whatever they want to share via this step status. Even if right now we only have, of course, the fixture and the ironic, but this is easily extendable. And I really like this feature, Sunat. Let's see how we can get to a compromise with Dimitri. If we cannot agree to have this, then what do you think? Would it be okay to not display the step name here, but we discussed the logging, that we would still log out the step names? If I know it's not optimal, I know, but if we cannot agree.
But I think from what I read, like in the substates proposal, there was alternative way saying that, like directly showing the ironic steps. Yeah, but it's very helpful, I would say. Yeah,
yes.
I mean, if it's not, if it's we cannot agree on it, so we can just show in the logs. So
Yeah,
but
the
I believe
two of us. Yeah. Go on.
I believe we should be okay with the steps when we can. Yeah, process.
I also agree with you. I also like them displayed like this, so we are on the same page as we discussed. It's just I'm just thinking about like alternatives if we would have some has to say like long-term disagreement with other community members on this. How do you folks in the call feel? Do you like this sort of granular status with the provisioner step displayed on the CR itself? Is there anyone who have any opinion about that?
I have a suggestion. Maybe I need to read it a bit also to give my more. Maybe I can comment on the peer. But what I was thinking is maybe add a description, because if this name is not something that can change a lot, maybe add a description where we can put these things not in the name.
That's like that's the real problem actually, because the steps can be very different, and it's like customizable. So that's why it is it is not possible to add a description for every step. So what is better to show the interface and then the step name, if that's what I come up with. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will read it. I will go through the PR. I will comment.
Please. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to reiterate that, like these steps, these are not default ones coming from upstream Ironic, but both the Ironic and other provisioners potentially have plugin systems, or could have. Ironic has, so you can introduce these with plugins on Ironic level, and you can even introduce these on IPA level with plugins, and then you can have completely random stuff like even like the name could be a number, or it could be anything. I think they don't need to contain description, but we can check that. I don't remember now at this moment that when the step registration happens, do the plugins or whoever the hardware managers provide these, do they have to provide description or not? We can check that, but there is no guarantee even that uh, any extra metadata is provided here.
I
Yeah.
have one small
But it would be
suggestion.
nice. Yep.
Maybe we can make steps optional. I mean, in terms of provisioner, if provision doesn't want to supply it, let's not even show the steps field, not like empty array, just hide it from status, because sometimes it doesn't make sense for if we're talking about like custom provisioners. I mean,
of course.
I think that has to be incorporated, and I think this has to go the similar way as the pre-provisioning image support, that there has to be in the provisioner interface, we have to put there a field or function as a requirement, so that a provisioner has to have a callable function. We can call it, say that do you support steps or no, or granular steps, and depending on what it is returning, we can do it automatically, so we don't even have to turn it on or off. It's just already the provisioner can tell us if we should display steps or not. We can go through that, Sunat. I can show you where that is.
But currently, if it doesn't have any steps, it will not show anything. So
yeah, already.
Okay. It will try to find the steps, and if it's empty, then it will not show anything. Yeah. Empty response from the provisioner.
Yeah, what I was just thinking. Yeah. Okay, then it might be enough already for custom provisioners, but I will check it, because it might be you do like one single check and don't even look for the steps if that fails. So, but I will check it. I will see where it step.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I will check that, but it might be actually that then it's already good enough. Anyone else? I'm checking the chat also. Okay, then nothing else related to this. It seems studies.
Yeah. So I'm looking for case studies from our adopter to publish, and if they're interested, we can write up something there. The deadline is until 30th of April. It would be nice if we can come up with something. Yeah. So that's.
I would
yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I would even extend this invitation for like without deadline. So for Sunat, you can cooperate with Sunat until the end of April. But I also got other end users story requests from CNCF that is not time limited, as I understand. There is this new stack newspaper or online newspaper, and I can coordinate with CNCF public relations to get it published there also. User case study published there. Because I think what you linked is the general case study site, but there is now a campaign to get case studies on this new stack, and we actually as a project got invited. It's new stack. This is the one. Yes, this site.
Okay. I was
We put the link here.
Yeah, I was mainly talking about the email we received from CNCF regarding the case studies and reference architecture contests. So, yeah.
Yeah, but keep in mind, I think that's for KubeCon India
And North America.
and then yeah, sure.
Yeah, and North America as well. So, yeah, reference architecture one is from North America, and then the case study is from KubeCon India. But yeah. So to apply for the reference architecture, I think it requires to have a case study published, or so I will check that as well. Yeah, so like they are accepting the submissions for reference architecture based on these case studies. So yeah.
Yep, sounds good. Anyone, any comments, question? Anyone who would already like to contribute? I see the comment from Leonard about
Yeah.
Mr. Yeah. It's fine if you don't have bandwidth. It's absolutely fine. But still keep in mind this new stack and CNCF co-publishing that will go further, as I understand, than April. So that might be still a good fit for you, maybe. Okay. Anyone else? Any comment, question? Okay, nice. And then the last topic for discussion topics is from Sari, related to bring your own provisioner.
Yeah, hi folks. Wanted to discuss this with the community. There are two changes. One is simpler one, that one is on the screen right now. It's basically exposing Go provisioner basic interface as a plugin in global plugin system, and you can do whatever you want with it. I mean, like write interpreted language, some interpreted language, like the second one, like the second pair is, and write it in Golang. Maybe if you want. Change is quite simple. So the major thing about this change is basically the requirement of CGO. It's kind of like a mental block maybe for someone that writes a lot of Go. But I mean, it gets what you want basically. You can write whatever you want, however you want it. There are issues in general, small issues with provision interface that I experience, like some things are lacking there. We can discuss it, I guess, afterwards. Yeah, and I wanted to maybe we can switch to the second pair just to understand the scope. This is basically not with plugins. It's just directly integrating Starlark in that case as an interpreted language and runs Starlark scripts basically. And there is a demo of integration with Veronic itself. So basically, like there is a Starlark script that calls into Veronic. But I mean, you can see the size of it, right? And the like major issue is if we get this merged, and we're basically saying that we support Starlark, and maybe someone else. I mean, this is what Dimitri was saying. someone else comes in and wants to support JS, for example, or like Lua, we're basically ending up in around 5K lines of another provisioner there. So I'm thinking that if CGO in general is okay with us and we can ensure the PR already ensures all of that, we can ship it as a plugin. We basically can integrate any kind of interpreter with CGO. Basically, I can port that Starlark into a Go plugin, use the Dockerfile SDK that was created in the Go plugin PR, and have this all out of tree, basically, not in the provider itself.
Yes, I think the second one is the one that I support, the one that you made the plugin system, just so that we can build in plugins or install them. That I think that's the cleaner solution. Although I would be fine to actually have like out of three, but somewhere in the project repository of this plugin. So I don't want to like necessarily stop people from publishing
Starlark?
their plugins if they want to. Yeah, the Starlark or anything else.
I think we can help at least one, just as an example. But in case of Go plugin itself, it's already migrating the Ironic plugin like as a plugin. So basically, it forces the build of Ironic itself as a SO file against the SDK that should be consumed publicly out of tree, right? And it basically ensures that the plugin system works itself, and the lines of code is quite small in compared to this. And I mean, we might want to have Starlark in there. I'm not going to drop that because when I've tried to implement this case against not Ironic itself, because I'm working on some specific provisioner system that works with Metal Cube, and it basically shows some few places that provisioner interface are basically lacking, right? Like the thing is that if you try to build the provisioner itself as a stateless system, not as opposed to the Ironic that keeps state of something, right? Some data is lacking in provision interface. Like two major things is like I don't have knowledge of what Arch is bare metal host basically, because it's not exposed anywhere. When it works with Ironic, when we register, Ironic remembers that for the specific UID, Arch is this and knows that. But if you try to make this stateless, the provisioner itself, there is no way to get things around from bare metal host because the spec is not exposed. It was exposed a long time ago, like few years ago, and after major refactor, I remember that refactor, and like a lot of fields got hidden. This is the first one, and the second one is there is no easy way to get to network configuration in all of the methods. Basically, it only gets exposed in provisioner. I might want to have it in other ways, in other places also, because I might want to like do something with it. So in case of Starlark, I solved it basically like exposing a custom helper to get data out of bare metal host via basically like getting it from Kubernetes and passing it as a dictionary. Same thing with the Arch. So kind of works, but I think we should consider extending interface itself. Yeah, but I still think that Go plugin system itself is a better choice if we are okay with CGO, because it basically allows to do anything. It doesn't. You don't have to like stick with the interpreted obscure language because it's kind of obscure, but there is not a lot of options when you like choose from to integrate into Go, because like if you try to do JS interpreter, it works great, but like the dependency list of what you bring in is kind of crazy, and like and you're basically exposing the whole JS runtime. In case of Starlark, you're not it's kind of like sanitized. If you don't expose any external calls, you won't have anything. Basically, you have like you actually need to expose a function from a Go side that uses curl-like requests, and this is all you have to communicate outside, right? So this is why basically Starlark is there, because I've tried to use it with JS, with Lua, and with Wasm, and I mean, security-wise, kind of hard to explain when you try to do it with JS or Lua, because you basically like have everything that Lua has or JS has, and with Wasm it's kind of messy with memory management. So basically, this is why Starlark, if anybody is interested, why, right?
Yeah, makes sense. So from my perspective, this plugin system, we can flesh that out, and I'm absolutely for it. I don't mind that we have to have bindings for C or C++, what you mentioned. I think this is the way to go forward. But I also completely agree that you had to write another provisioner to see the limitations of the interface. That's also completely reasonable. But then that means that you would like to, if possible, have this. So putting aside the plugin system, you would still like to have this duality of the provisioner, so that we would have Ironic and we would have the Starlark in the tree, so that we can see if like we can better see when we have to modify the interface. Is it what you are saying with when you are saying that you want to drop the Starlark based?
No, not exactly. The golden path that I see is we merge Go plugin. I rebased Starlark against Go plugin, test it again. We extend the interface like out. This still keeps as a draft, but based on plugin system, right? We extend the interface with the issues that I found against custom provisioner, and after that we can think how we can integrate Starlark. Either we'll land it as a additional option in tree, or maybe we can do it out of tree but under the Metal Cube organization, and to show how to like use the out of tree ability, and that both works from my side. I don't see any problem with that. In case we land
So this
Go plugins, right? If we don't and go with Starlark, I guess there is no sense to make it out of tree, and it should go into in tree.
Yeah, I think I will choose your golden path and do the plugin system first, and then this can, as you said, you tested everything, and then this could become our example provisioner plugin. I think that's the way, that this will be the example plugin, and then people can use it, of course, for whatever they want. But from the project perspective, this would be example plugin out of tree, but in the org. That's fine by me completely.
Yeah, fully works on my side also. So like the plugin system itself as a Go plugin system is kind of ready already, can be reviewed. So we can think what else is missing and try to merge it and try to test it against CI. I think it passes all the tests that I was able to launch. So let's concentrate on that, I guess. After that, I will rebase Starlark and we'll see. I'll probably open up few PRs against extending interface in some places, not related directly to Starlark, but still.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Anyone, any question, comment?
Yeah, comment is more about Starlark itself. Is I think it might become like there's an example Starlark script into it, and if we have tests running against this plugin and everything, if there's something to break, then someone may have to know about Starlark and how it works to be able to fix it. And
I agree,
that
but
may make it more
can I interrupt
difficult.
you here?
Yeah.
Like the good story about interpreted language plugin is that you actually don't care the implementation of part of the communication between the plugin itself, right, and the provisioner. So we don't have to ship the Starlark script itself that communicates to Ironic, but we just need to ship that harness that allows you to basically, instead of gluing Go code, just running some functions. So we basically ship that stub Starlark functions that just do stub things like fixture, right? And that's all we need. We don't need to. I mean, we can't run tests, of course, and have like a second implementation of Starlark script somewhere. And like in my case, I implemented virtual media against Ironic itself, so we can do it, but no point in if we think of like testing, because Starlark only brings the ability to like run functions and like pass data from inside and outside. So like the minimal fixture script would work in that case.
So it would mean from the project point of view, maintaining the Starlark plugin, but no Starlark scripts or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can, but the minimal thing you need is a fixture script that basically like passes around data, like we have the right now with demo, and then the fixture script provision like built in the interface. So instead of this, was basically like passing the same idea into Starlark interpreter, and Starlark interpreter calls some Starlark functions, and those functions do nothing, basically just like pass that data around. That's all that we need, like minimal. And if we change interface itself, we would still need to change the like the capability of the integration of the interpreter itself, not the scripts. I mean, we also would need to change the fixture script, but we don't need the whole setup of like going in and fixing the integration of Starlark against Ironic also. Because like if you look at the script, it's not so short, I would say. I mean, and the same problem would basically be with other interpreted languages also. Like if you replace Starlark, for example, with JS, you basically need to test that JS script. Lua, same thing, same story. Like the only like the additional reason why Starlark is here is basically it also has linter, and it's kind of close to Python, so like you can read it if you know Python, you can read it simply enough.
Okay, I see. I see the idea, I guess. The only, well, my question was here because the only previous example I had of plugins like this in other projects was the use of WebAssembly, exactly because it gives the freedom for the end user to use whatever they want as a language, and it also made it able for the project to use the same language as the rest of the project for that example plugin. So it was easier to maintain for everyone. But it makes sense that we don't have to maintain a full, of like a fully capable Starlark script, just a dummy one. So
My initial idea was to actually use Wasm here also. And when you do this, you can make it work, but you have to do a lot of manual memory management from the interpreter side, like literally like creating buffers and freeing them, and it makes very hard to maintain it if you don't know what you do. Basically, you end up doing a lot of LLM stuff in there. And the second problem is that, like in general, why you need memory management is because Wasm is so isolated that you can't call out anything. So basically, you need to implement some helper function again, like here, that calls HTTP from Go side and passes data around. So it would look from the consumer side nice, because you can basically kind of like write the Wasm in any language and just consume it. But it's really not the case, because when you actually try to do it, you need specific Wasm things that you call, because you're not exposing the whole runtime like of the language. It only can make use of what you're exposing from the BMO runtime side, like those specific functions that call in to something, right? And it basically gives you like very little of language that you're supposed to cross compile from. And I don't know. I mean, I've tried it. I didn't like the end result, and I didn't do any PRs like publicly on BMO, because looks
Just
ugly.
as a side question on this is, you did it with pure Wasm, or you used WASI as an interface?
I used the one that uses, I don't remember the exact one that Helm uses right now, and I was using XTSIM also, because XTSIM brings in those helpers, but and it also uses the same underlying library that Helm uses, but the problem is, sorry, it also brings in the HTTP call, like you can use the built-in one, but the problem is that there is no support for TLS management. So if you end up trying to call into some TLS endpoint that doesn't have publicly available certs, like you can't verify CR for that, it doesn't work. Like you literally need to patch the SDK for that. I also had like PR there, so for that, but it's still like very not very stable right now to go into Wasm land. But if we actually manage to land Go plugins, you can actually do it with Go, right? I mean, you can integrate Vasi in there and do it Wasm directly. Nothing stops you.
Okay, sure. And another thing I've seen in the past for this kind of generic plugins thing is the use of a protobuf interface. So basically, you end up having a way to call external, like the plugin defines a protobuf interface that is standardized, and you have the plugin caller that just opens a socket and calls the plugin that way. That makes it more complicated, but it always way more things as well. But it was just mentioned, not something.
Yeah, I was also thinking initially to use gRPC there, but it forces you to have some kind of client generator, right?
Yeah.
And it has a lot of things need to be implemented from the runtime side. So basically, like complicates things a lot, and you basically can't solve that problem when you here. As an example, this is just like a plain script, right? So you can basically put it into config map and just mount it into the BMO pod, right? And you don't need to do anything. So like in field, you have some kind of like broken system and you need to fix it. You just change config map and you can fix it in field. If you go into gRPC side, Wasm side, and all that, that will not work because you need to regenerate client, you need to compile stuff, you need to bring in some binary stuff in it, right? And doesn't make sense if I actually need to want to like this compile safety and all of that magic. Maybe I just want to write plugins in Go directly and just like ship it as a SOAP because that's much easier to consume. But if I want like this magical in-field flexibility of fixing, I need some strictly scripting interpreted language like JS, Lua, this Starlark, or anything that can be just like put as a script in there. That was my idea, basically.
Makes sense. And for the plugin system, I didn't look into the PR, but don't we? Well, we may end up in a situation where if we change the interface, we have to version it somehow so that the plugins knows that it's running against. Well, that basically that we don't end up loading a plugin that it's not for the right interface.
With this Go system thing, you basically have it for free because
okay.
It even not load the plugin if you build it against different runtimes. So basically, you are very, very strict. Go is very strict with this because it uses C probably and structs and all of that. So you need to exactly have the same environment where the PMO binary was built. Like exactly the same environment means like compiler and all the libs. So basically, if you take out all the stuff and try to do it out of tree, you basically need to copy go mod in there plus the Go runtime version exactly and compile it against it. And in that case, it will work. So like every release basically breaks the capability of the compiled plugin. You need to recompile it again. You need to build a CI system. Like when BMO gets a new release, you pull it locally, you try to build your code change against it, and you ship the SOAP. If it doesn't build, probably interface got changed, and you need to fix it from your side. So there will never be a case when like you use a SOAP from a different release on the new BMO. It will not ever work. But if you load interpreter into SOAP and run scripts, you might also need to change the script itself, right? Like for example, if I put the Starlark interpreter into a SOAP file and compile it, and something major changes, like either from the side of provisioner or like from the side of the interface itself, and after I fix all the glue stuff, I would still need to fix the script itself.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Okay, thank you. That was actually very, very interesting to listen to, and interesting to see that someone implemented you implemented the plugin system also, or like made it working with BMO. That opens up a lot of doors, and actually it's a big help for the project because we have been asked a lot. A lot of people said that they are not adopting because they don't want to use Ironic, or they are not sure, or this and that. So they now have a way to, or we have a way to point them toward this direction. So I'm sure the plugin system will be merged and accepted.
There is also bonus point in this when you have some off-stream, downstream changes that you need for Ironic. I mean, you still use Ironic, but you kind of use it in a different way, right? In case of plugins, you can just like implement it and don't try to abuse the official upstream running integration. You just take your code out and just like make it your own and build it.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions, comments? So few folks have already dropped from chat. Anyone else? Any question, comments, opinion, whatever? Okay, we are actually out of time, so we've spent one hour, but we are also reached the end of the discussion topics. I would suggest that I will check these milestones and look around, but we only had the ironic image as a minor release, so the milestones are not really affected yet, so I can sort those out if it's all right by you. And then that was all for today. So is there any further question, suggestion, problem, improvement, opinion, anything that you would like to mention at the end of the meeting? Okay. If nothing, then thanks for the good discussions. It was really, really great. There have been a bunch of good topics, and let's meet next week at the same time. And until then, have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.